Hello. Today, let's do a reading about why are they so mad? Are you dealing with someone who seems to be angry all the time, or they're mad, or they complain a lot, or I don't know, they just seem to be unhappy all the time? So why? Cards are already falling out. Why are they so mad? Let's try to figure out why, maybe what the reason is, in this situation, why they appear to be angry or upset all the time. Okay, let's get a couple more cards to start this out with. Why are they so mad? Okay, let's see what we got here. The Empress, Six of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. All right. Well, the Empress makes me feel as if they think they're of a certain status, or how to put this, their role in life is such that they don't, like, things are beneath them, or they're like the matriarch, right? Or the patriarch. It doesn't necessarily have to be a female that you're asking this question about, but they feel as if they're in a certain role in life that requires them to be of a certain stature, or, I just keep thinking of like gender roles kind of a thing. Like, okay, in a family, possibly one gender does this and then the other gender does that. I mean, like, I remember growing up, right? It was like my brothers and my dad and everybody was always outside mowing the lawn and doing yard work and doing stuff like that. And I was always stuck in the house dusting and vacuuming and mopping and whatever, doing the dishes. And I always thought to myself, I would love to be outside. I would love to go outside, and I would love to mow the lawn and do this and do that, right? But I felt like because of gender roles, I was stuck in the house, doing all that other stuff. So I'm kind of sensing that. It's like with this Empress card, it's like they're in a position where they think whatever, that certain things are beneath them, or certain roles are beneath them. Certain things that they have to do are beneath them. I don't know if that makes any sense or if that's fitting for you, but and then Six of Pentacles, it could be because of money, right? They could be upset because of money. They feel like they're in a bad situation, or they're in a, they're trying to balance things. They're trying to balance out, sort of like as above, so below. They're trying to balance out maybe financial things, or balanced work-life situation, or something doesn't feel balanced or feel fair to them. Something doesn't feel fair to them. And then with the Knight of Swords and the Eight of Swords, I get the sense that they're feeling as if they are bound, right? That they're trapped or bound in a situation. And it could be, this is mental energy, remember? So it could be that it could be an internal struggle, right? They are thinking a certain way, and that thinking is limiting, or those beliefs are limiting, and they're wanting to be, kind of like this Knight of Swords. They're wanting to swiftly move through this, or they're wanting to be something different, but they're feeling like they're bound to something. They're tied, they're trapped, they're bound to whatever, a situation, some kind of mental energy, some kind of thinking, some kind of way of being or a belief. But they really want to break free and just move through this quickly, or feel free. So I don't know. So if we tie it back to the Empress, their thinking is that they believe they're of a certain stature, or the things that they do or people want them to do are beneath them. So that thinking is inaccurate to start with, right? So maybe that's the thinking that's keeping them tied to the situation and keeping them in this state of anger, resentment, irritation, whatever it is they're feeling. Okay, so that could potentially describe why they're mad. Let's see if we can get some information for you of how to deal with this situation. So we maybe have some background here of why things are happening, but what's best for you to deal with this situation. And they're again falling out. How do you deal with this situation? Okay. Looking for guidance, advice, messages on how to deal with this situation. Where did that go? One kind of flipped. There we go. Take that one. Two more, please. Messages, guidance. How does the viewer deal with this situation? Or how to deal with this person? Okay. We have the Chariot, Queen of Cups, Nine of Swords, and Knight of Pentacles. So with the Chariot, there's this duality, right? So I'm sure it probably feels very up and down, or very polarized, possibly very black and white. They're making this very black and white. But I think it would be helpful if you were to view it as not negative or positive, but kind of just view it as it is what it is, right? So The Chariot, oftentimes people say it means like forward moving kind of stuff, or fast moving something or other, or yeah, black and white, that kind of stuff. But to me, the Chariot represents foundations, right? Represents the like foundational energy, and it does represent duality, but it represents like foundational energy. So how can you grow this relationship or deal with this person, the situation, from a more foundational aspect? Like, what are the basic needs, the basic, the basic needs that this person might need, or that you might need, to build a stronger foundation with this relationship? So, yeah, we got background. They could be mad for all these different reasons, but like, how can the relationship morph and change if you were to start to look at more foundational needs being met for both of you? And with the Queen of Cups, I would say there probably needs to be more compassion, more understanding, more heart-centered love in this situation, right? More compassion in this situation. So maybe that could be one of the foundational things that changes, right? Approaching it from a more heart-centered manner, kind of putting yourself in their shoes, or recognizing that for whatever reason, if these reasons apply, that they're unhappy, and they're the ones that have to get themselves out of that situation. So most likely if you were to give them advice, anything you do or say is probably not going to go over very well. But if you start to change foundationally how you deal with them, then that would change the energy of the situation. I hope that makes sense. So instead of feeling like this is a no-win situation, or feeling like this is this is never going to change, never going to stop, this person's always going to be like this. I think, for you, there has to be, stop with the defeatist thinking, right? Like, this is horrible, this is never going to change, it'll always be this way, right? Stop with that thinking and start to change how you approach the situation, more with an open heart and energy of understanding, energy of compassion, and that will in turn create a different energy moving forward. Yeah, and so then it finishes out with the Knight of Pentacles, right? Which is, again, like earth energy, foundational energy, and offer, a lot of people are like offering whatever, this pentacle or whatever, but it's a new way to approach the situation that is like starting over, right? Okay, let's see if we can get some oracle cards. Any more advice? any more guidance or advice for those watching of how to deal with this situation? This person who appears to be angry all the time or mad. Any other advice? Any other advice? Oops, there's a couple that popped out here. Yep, love and imagination. Yeah, so yeah, just approaching it from a different type of energy. So anger is only fueled by more anger, right? Fire, what puts out fire? Usually water, right? Water puts out fire. So love puts out anger, or at least neutralizes it, right? So if you approach the situation or the person from more of an open heart, a gentle heart, it's going to change the energy of, in the least, of how you, what energy you're putting into the situation, what energy you're expressing towards the situation, which in turn, the opposite energy that is reciprocated should be softer, more gentler. Over time, what is it? Kill them with kindness. Over time, if you keep flooding their system with loving energy, with a kind heart, right? Over time, that will seep into their energy field. And then imagination. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit of doing a little bit of creativity to come about. Life's difficulties are a call to consciousness, a grace-inspired event that challenges us to reach beyond limited thinking. There we go again, limited thinking. There's limited thinking, too much thinking of you should be this way, you should be that way, it should be this way, I shouldn't have to do this, I should, right? Too much limited thinking. So be a little bit creative with your approach and creative with your thoughts that are going into this. Because if you are constantly thinking, this person is blah, 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 and you're constantly saying it and thinking it and complaining to them about their behavior because they're this, that, and the other thing, well, you're just feeding that, even more energy of that into the whole situation, right? So, who was that guy that wrote the Mars-Venus book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus book? He said, I remember watching an interview with him one time, and he said, you know, if you show a man that you appreciate him and you appreciate what he does, he's going to want to do more of that. So, yeah, putting a different type of energy into the situation is going to change that situation. So changing your thinking, changing the way you express yourself in the situation and the way you approach the situation will, in the least, fuel a different type of energy, and in turn should fuel a different outcome, right? Anyway, I hope this helps. As always, I thank you for allowing me to be an instrument of service, and I thank my spiritual guides, spiritual teachers, and spiritual helpers. Thank you, thank you, thank you.